Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2018 MVP Open Players Meeting. This is a virtual version of our Players Meeting. The Caddy book is available online. Feel free to download it and print it. It is a convenient PDF. Go to town. So, the first page of the Caddy book is the course map, the men's course and the women's course. The men's course is a light gold. The women's course is a dark gold. We'll go through the caddy books and describe which tees are different for the men and the women. Hole 1, 835-foot par 4. The pond is OB. Any shots landing in the pond go to the drop zone. Also, over the wall is OB near the pin. Those shots, obviously, you take them last place inbounds. Hole 2, 350-foot par 3. To the right of the stone wall is OB. Play at last place inbounds. Hole 3. Any shot, so again, the same stone wall that's on hole 2 right here is OB. The tee is an island of inboundsness. Any shot landing short of the stone wall goes to the drop zone, which is about 50 feet past the stone wall. So it says right here, OB from the tee, go to drop zone shooting 3. You gotta love rhymes. Busta. Oh, also there's a barbed wire fence here, way left. That you would play last place inbounds unless you were short of the stone wall. So, good question. Hole 4, straight down the pipe, 250-foot par 3. The water past is OB. There's a wall behind the pin. And where the wall is not is defined by rope. It's a good point. We should point out rope supersedes water on this course. So if there is rope, that is the definition of the water. Whoops. Hole 5. Again, we've got a pond here to the left. The water is OB. If there's rope there, the rope is the definition of the OB. If you go into the water at all on hole 5, you go to the drop zone, conveniently located right around here. Hole 6. To the right of the stone wall, on the right-hand side, is OB. On the left side, there is water as well. Again, the water is defined by rope and walls, wooden walls in this case, near the other pin. So the rope defines where the water is, and so to the left of that rope is OB, and to the right of the stone wall is OB. If you go OB, take it where it was last inbounds. Hole 7, 370-foot par 3, straight up the gut. No OB should come into play on this hole. Hole 8, 320 feet, par 3. There is an OB wall behind, and there is an OB pond in the middle. If you land in the OB pond, you go to the drop zone, which is over here on the dam. It's also the red tee, the tee for the red course. If you go past the OB wall, that is past the pin, then you play at last place inbounds. So anywhere in the water, go to the drop zone. Anywhere on land, go to last place inbounds. Hole 9. This one gets us every year. So there is OB pond up here to the left, OB pond to the right. These are both defined by ropes. So there's another little rope going here, and it does go to the left of the bridge. And it's worth pointing out that the bridge itself within these two ropes is out of bounds. So you cannot play any shots from on the bridge. That's what gets us every year. So feel free to point that out to anybody that you see, anytime, anywhere. Hole 10. This is a new hole, 380-foot par 3. We're teeing off from the dam. This is the pin for hole 9 gold is right down here. And you just walk up there and boop, you're at hole 10 tee. 380 feet up. Nothing tricky here. Just get it up and down and get your deuce. Hole 11, 780-foot par 4. There is no OB here. No OB to the right, no OB to the left, no OB up in the air. Speaking of which, the 2-meter rule is not in effect. Hole 12, same as hole 11, no OB anywhere on the course, or anywhere on the hole. Throw it well and try to get that 3. Joey Lutz had a forehand that actually, how did it went? I don't even know how he did it, but he got it all the way down to the pin and apparently landed within a foot of somebody that was actually putting within the circle. So that was a little bit crazy. Hole 13. Straight down the pipe, there is no OB on this hole either as well. Although, actually, I'll say that there is a pond off here to the right. And if you try to go up and over, you could potentially bring that pond into play. But in general, no OB here on hole 13, 405-foot par 3. Hole 14, 420-foot par 3. The water here is defined by the rope. Any discs that go in the water go to the drop zone. And just to clarify, for the men's tee, the rope, you can actually see the OB here on this graphic. The rope actually comes up all the way to the tee. So if you throw the disc off the tee and it goes any distance and even doesn't reach the water, you are considered OB in the water and you go to the drop zone. Is that clear? This area right here in front of the tee is considered OB in the water and you go to the drop zone because this is the rope that's defining the pond. So there you have it. Hole 15, no OB, 355-foot par 3. Classic tunnel shot over the Laurel Pond. Hole 16. Oh, just a classic tunnel shot over a big hill in the middle here. There is OB off to the left. It's a pond. If you go into that pond, you take it the last place you were inbounds. Hole 17. No OB on this hole either. Yeah, we're probably going to park some cars over here, but I don't think that'll be defined as OB. That will not be defined as OB. So 17, straightforward, 650-foot par 4. If you want to win the tournament, I'd suggest you card a birdie there at least 2 of the 3 days. And then hole 18, we have a new tee. So holes 10 and 18 are the 2 new holes on the course. And this tee has been moved back about 80 feet from where it was last year up here. And you now shoot out of the woods. There's a pretty good sized tunnel window you got to get through, then past the 2 willow trees and land up in this opening here. And as always, to the right of the stone wall is OB. Past the stone wall where the sap house is OB. And I don't even know where exactly the stone wall is to the left here, but it might be over here somewhere. If you go to the left of the stone wall, defining the left side of the fairway, that is also OB. And we will have an expansion of the OB up here near the sap house. This is going to be a small parking lot up here with 20 or 30 cars. And that will be marked OB as well. and there will be a OB wall there defining where that is. So it shouldn't come into play unless you overthrow your drive by way too much, or you have a second shot that shanks left into this OB parking lot here. Regarding the green on hole 18, any shots that go over the green and land out of bounds go to the drop zone. If you do not fly over the green and you go out of bounds, you take it the last place you were in bounds. Rewording that the opposite way, when you go out of bounds, you take it the last place you were in bounds, unless you flew over the green. So if your disc just flies over the green and ends up out of bounds, then you go to the drop zone. Got it? Clear as mud? Thank you all. Now we will go over the women's gold course at the MVP Open. Hello, everybody. We will now go over the women's gold course at the MVP Open. The women's gold course, hole 1, we tee off from the blue tee and we go to the gold basket. This is a 720-foot par 4. Any shot that lands in the pond goes to the drop zone. There is additional OB over the wall outside of the island green, or the peninsula green. And just like normal OB, any place you go out of bounds here, you take it the last place you were in bounds. Hole 2, 270-foot par 3. This is playing from the blue tee to the gold pin. Along the entire right-hand side over the wall is OB. Play it from the last place it was in bounds. Hole 3, 325-foot par 3. Again, we play from the blue tee to the gold basket. There is, I think, actually for the women's course, this wall is not OB. The only OB on this hole is left of the barbed wire fence, which is way left of the fairway. Anybody that goes over there, you have my sincere condolences. That's way off the fairway. So this stone wall for the women is not OB. Hole 4. Straight down the pipe, there is OB pond past the pin. If you go OB into the pond, you take it from the last place in bounds. This is a good time to mention that the ponds are in many places will be defined by rope. The rope will supersede the pond, or the water, I should say. So if there's rope down, the rope defines OB. If there's not rope down, the water defines the OB. And that's hole 4, 250-foot par 3. Hole 5, 285-foot par 3. There are two paths here. There is one path through the woods, which is a very difficult deuce, and there is one path over the water. If you throw over the water and land in the water, that is out of bounds. Again, defined by rope if there's rope there. And any shot that goes in the water goes to the drop zone. It does not matter if you cross inbounds up here on the green. You go to the drop zone. Any shot that lands in the water goes to the drop zone. Hole 6. This is the blue tee to the gold basket, 320-foot par 3. There is OB to the right of the stone wall, and there is OB to the left in the water. And again, the water is defined by the rope. So in both of these cases, this OB plays normal. You take it from the last place in bounds. On hole 7, there is no OB. We are playing from the gold tee to the white basket. And there you have it. Hole 8, we are playing from the we're playing from the white tee. My apologies. Playing from the white tee to the gold basket. Par 3, 250 feet. There is an OB wall past the basket, and there is an OB pond in front of the basket. There is another OB pond off to the right. If you land in either pond, you go to the drop zone. And if you go past the OB wall, past the pin, play standard rules, last place you are in bounds. So, clear? If you're in the water, no matter what, you're going to the drop zone. And if you are past on the land, if you're past, if you're OB on the land, past the wall back here, you take it last place in bounds. The idea being that it is difficult to know, if you throw, for example, a hyzer shot over here, it's difficult to know if it crossed in bounds. And in order to make the ruling consistent for everybody, we send everybody to the drop zone. So that's the reason for all these water carries going to drop zones. On hole 9, this is the one we always goof up. And the women play the standard gold hole. There is OB pond off to the left here, up top left, and there's an OB pond top right. These are both defined by rope. The rope will cross underneath the pyramid bridge right here, and the bridge in between the ropes right here is out of bounds. You should not play it from the bridge. And that is a par 4, 420 feet. Hole 10, 230 foot straight up to the castle. No OB. Hole 11, 670 foot par 4. We are playing from the blue and gold tee and white tee to the blue basket, which is just at the edge of the woods. No OB on this hole. Just huck it and bring home your birdie. Hole 12, 650 foot par 4. This plays the same as the men's gold. And again, there's no OB. Hole 13, 405 foot par 3, going from the gold tee to the gold basket. There is a pond off to the right, way over here, but that is not should not come into play. If it does, again, my condolences. Hole 14, we play from the blue tee to the gold pin. It's a 285 foot par 3. As with all water carries at Maple Hill, if you land in the in the water, you go to the drop zone. And there you have it. Hole 15. Nothing to see here. 355 foot par 3. Straight through the woods over the laurel pond. It's not really a laurel pond. It's not really a pond. It's just a big clump of laurel. It's gorgeous, especially in early June. Hole 16, par 4, 530 feet. There is a pond off to the left, which is OB. If you go in the pond, last place, you play it from the last place you were in bounds. Hole 17, 373 foot par 4. We are playing from the white tee to the gold basket. So it is a severe dog leg. Just get to that opening and then look to your right, and that's where the pin, the tee is. Nope, the pin. And then hole 18, we play from the white tee to the gold basket. A couple things here. First, stone to the right of the stone wall is OB. Past the stone wall near the sap house is OB. And then there is going to be a parking lot up here on the left side. And if you go in that parking lot, which will be defined by the OB wall, then that is in fact out of bounds. So the OB wall that here for the parking lot that actually connects to the stone wall on the left, which is actually out of bounds as well, but it's not pictured. So that's all OB, as well as past the sap house and to the right of the stone wall. Additionally, the green is an island green. If your disc does not, let's do it this way. If your disc flies over the island green and lands out of bounds, then you go to the drop zone. Otherwise, if your disc goes out of bounds, you just take it where it was last in bounds. So if your disc goes out of bounds and did not fly over the island green, last place in bounds. If your disc flies over the island green and lands out of bounds, you go to the drop zone. Got it? Hey, that's hole 18. We are all done. Hopefully there are no questions. If there are, feel free to email me, Stephen@dgpt.com. Thanks, and we'll see you August 24th to 26th. Check in August 23rd.